Thanks for checking out my video. This is Amy Joy coming at you again. Today we're talking about how do I find time for myself? Well, I'm gonna give you like the really real, real, keeping it 100 in this video. So, how do I find time for myself? Actually, I don't find time for myself. For me, that word find does not resonate. When I think of the word find, I'm thinking of, like I found $1 on the floor. Kind of is something that happens by chance, by happenstance, and by coincidence. And that's not how I want to go about having time for myself. When I think of having time for myself, I really want to create that time and prioritize the time that I have with myself as a very high priority. It actually is my first priority. Now, it may not be the very first thing that I do every day in the morning, but it is the thing that I am most mindful about creating and carving out time and space for myself to experience and be in relationship with myself. Without creating that time for myself, then I tend to get out of touch with myself. I get carried away by tasks and, all of the things of the world that are outside of myself. So that doesn't serve me. So what does serve me is when I create. That's the word I'd like to substitute for find, okay? So I am creating, I'm being deliberate and mindful about creating time and space to have with myself, to nurture and develop a relationship with myself so that I know myself, so that I know my soul, my spirit, and my purpose, and everything that I want to do in this world. So I show up for myself in the following ways. I create the time. Here's how I do it. Now, there are some fantasy ways that I would love to do it. And those would be definitely like having a spa day once a month. Those would be like taking myself to the movies. Those would be like taking myself out to eat. I do those, but those are more of the lower priority things because I do have a lot going on. But now the things that you can count on me regularly, these are the trilly trills. See, I told you guys this video was going to be trilly trill. So those are my ideal cases, and one day for sure I will definitely be having those big, like, awesome things for myself, like, first and foremost. But the ways that I really do create time for myself in my busy schedule on a regular basis are the following ways. I wake up early in the morning. Oftentimes, I don't know where it comes from, but I don't have an alarm clock set for 5:30 or 5 a.m. My alarm clock is set for like 7:30. And I'm always waking up before my alarm clock goes off. Not really intentionally, but maybe my body is now accustomed to this habit. So I'll wake up and I'll allow myself to stay awake, and I will sit in stillness and in quiet with myself. Each time that it happens, I may have a different agenda, but what I do in those times when I wake up is I can either begin to meditate, which I really enjoy doing that in the very beginning of my day, because again, I am the person who is going to prioritize me the highest. No one else outside of me, because I am my first relationship. My first relationship is had with me. And the same thing goes for you and yourself. I'm not going to be able to prioritize you higher than I do myself, and no one else is going to prioritize you higher in your own life than you do yourself. So I need to prioritize myself the highest, and I should be my number one fan should be me. So I meditate because I want to do that activity first and foremost before I do anything else for anyone else. I want to take care of me first, okay? So that's one of the things I do when I wake up at like random 5 or 4:30 in the morning or whatever. I may meditate. Another thing that I do when I wake up on the random is I may write down my dreams if I just had a dream. And that's something I also do like on the weekends when I have a lot more time and space. I really get into it. This is like my really juicy me time that I just love so much because it's allowing me to really tap into like my intuition, my second chakra, creative energy. As I just sit in the bed, I allow my wheels to turn. I allow my mind to go crazy. I allow myself to creatively solve problems. And I allow myself to either, or meditate like I was just talking about when I wake up randomly also. I just allow myself that space. I don't get up out of bed. My son is, he's 11 and he's pretty self-sustained in the mornings until he gets hungry. And then he does call upon me. But I usually have a really big amount of time and space in the morning when he's just totally content doing his thing till probably like noon or something like that. And then the third way that I create time for myself is, especially under circumstances of overwhelm or throughout my day, like at work, is I'll just take a mindful moment. I'll take some deep breaths. I'll close my eyes and I'll allow myself to really sink into my chair. I'll allow my mind to visualize, roots coming out of my feet. I'll allow my mind to visualize maybe a cord dropping down from my spinal cord, kind of like a root from my spine down into the ground, into the earth. And I will take a mindful moment then also. And those are just, that's in the case where like I feel like I need some extra support and to be grounded and to get more focused and clarity and just, in a response to kind of like a hectic situation. But yeah, those are my ways that I, on the really real, the ways that I most frequently am able to create some time. And creating time for yourself doesn't have to be a big elaborate thing, as long as you can do it in small micro doses on a regular basis. I mentioned at the top of this that I am mindful about it. I am deliberate about this. I create these instances throughout my day, whether it be traditional waking hours or whether it be in the middle of the night. But I am intentional about creating these moments which allow me to feel supported by myself and, not really get too out of whack in a place of overwhelm. And they allow me to balance the busy schedule that I do have going on with self-care. So that's my perspective. That's how I am able to manage a busy schedule and time for myself. It's not a fabulous Hollywood glamorized approach. However, it's a very mindful approach, which is effective, and it helps me to balance. What's your perspective? What kind of things are you doing for self-care? What kind of things are you doing to create more time in your day-to-day? What's your relationship like with yourself? What's your relationship like with time? I'd be really interested in hearing your feedback. just leave a comment below and give a big thumbs up like to this video. And don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. And I will look forward to seeing you or talking to you in the next video and hearing your wonderful comments. Until then, namaste. The light in me honors, sees, and respects the light in you. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit the notifications button so that you can be informed anytime I post a new video.